Oh, let's just get to it, shall we? I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Rampage. JR, Excalibur, Shivani, and Chris. My wife's an insurrectionist. I support the insurrection because I donated a whole bunch of goddamn money to the man that tried to overthrow a legal election with a bunch of cowardly, inhuman pieces of un-American garbage that all deserve to be sent to the goddamn gulag as far as I'm concerned. Irvine. Yeah, Chris Irvine can go straight to goddamn hell. He can't fucking fight, and he's a goddamn cowardly, inhuman piece of fucking garbage. So yeah, now that I pretty much got to know you stupid motherfuckers that still support the person that Jericho supports, now let's talk to the actual people that matter. So yeah, by the way, let me know your thoughts on the show in the comments, please. I will just sprinkle that shit in because I don't give a shit anymore because I'm having fun with wrestling. I wish I had fun with Rampage. Rampage has gotten to the goddamn point, by the way, where it's hard to get through. Like, it's getting hard to get through, even with the efforts from some talents. It just feels like such a throwaway show. So, the Bucks took on Aussie Open. Don Callis joined commentary. Referee Rick Knox, and what was this? Same as it ever was. Aussie Open deserved to face actual wrestlers next time they are on AEW programming because the Bucks aren't it. There are people that are fans of the Bucks. If you're like me, and I know I am, I'm not a fan of the Bucks. They're doing the same goddamn shit they've been doing for so many years, and some people pop for it. I don't. 17 minutes later, after the lights went out, because we're teasing the House of Black thing, the Bucks win with the BTE trigger. And then the lights out, the House of Black show up, and we're getting that feud for Revolution. By the way, Revolution is in just over a week, and this has been a horribly built pay-per-view that I will buy because I want to support the good talents, and I want to see if some of the matches surprise me. But as far as build, this has been terrible. So Lexi Nair is with Trent and Chuck Taylor, who immediately get attacked by Big Billy Willie, Lee Moriarty, and the Guns, and 4 men pipe 2 men in jumpsuits news at 11. And then they go to break, and then they come back still on the Best Friends that were piped by 4 men. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen are there. They devoted television time to this, to the Best fucking Friends. Tony Storm, speaking of somebody that I really, really do like, Tony Storm. And I really want to see Tony Storm on my television. Except Saraya, defender of Abuserverse, defender of criminals, this goddamn piece of shit, this goddamn stupid fucking pale-ass moron with a slinky neck that did not deserve a huge contract from Tony Khan. I was a defender of Paige Saraya for the longest goddamn time. No fucking more. She took on Willow Nightingale. By the way, where has Willow been? I mean, I don't think we've seen her. Maybe we've seen her on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention to that because there's only so many hours in the day and so many hours in the week, and I don't have a ton of free time. But that being said, Willow got a pretty good pop, and this was a fine match, and I like Tony as a worker, and as a heel she'd be good, but she's got the albatross of the slinky neck dumb skink. I'm just going to be very careful how I say that, because there are certain words that could get me banned. She knows what she is, and she deserves every bit of ridicule she fucking gets, because Saraya is not a good person and never has been a good person. And quite frankly, if she's going to continue to associate with pieces of shit, guess what's going to happen? You're just going to end up being, seen as a piece of shit because you're a piece of shit. See, I told you I was on one here. Anyway, Willow did some good moves. Tony did some good moves. That hip attack in the corner, many would love to take that, including statistically many women. Then Saraya gets dumped in the ring because they got to make the referees look ineffective. And then Tony wins, which was fine. Tony winning is fine because they're trying to build this thing up with Tony and Saraya, even though it's not working. Ruby Soho shows up, and then Jamie and Britt rush the ring. And Jamie was attacking Saraya on the stage. Saraya looking like a goddamn fish out of water, flopping around like a slinky on stairs. And they fight off. Team TNA then attack the Acclaimed because everybody loves the Acclaimed except Team TNA. Jade calls out all competition. Cool. And Archer is back and beats some guy named Saturn. Jake Roberts is also there. I'm glad to see Lance Archer back because Lance Archer is a good talent. The last time that we saw him on any wrestling program was during World Tag League for New Japan. And he hasn't been on AEW programming for a while, so I'm glad to see him. He beats the guy. Good. There you go. And then Dustin wants Keith Lee, who apparently raided Mordecai's closet because he's in a weird robe. They're going to face off against Swerve, the one honky that's still there. And then we get Sammy in action pre-tapes. Dynamite, by the way. I will be watching Dynamite live because of a schedule change, because I'm going to have to work a couple night shifts during the weekend. Don't worry, I will be here to watch AEW Revolution and review that. Tired, but whatever. Cassidy versus Big Billy Willie All Atlantic Championship. Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. Yay! MJF and Danielson speak ahead of their 60-minute Iron Man match. Stokely has chosen Ethan, or rather Matt, to face off against Hook. And I was told in a pre-tape. And then Matt's like, oh, I could beat him. And then he says, hey, wait a second, I'm so confident. If he beats me, then Hook can face off against Stokely. And then Ethan and Isaiah Cassidy. Cassidy's pages and cages in this goddamn company. Hey, how about this? It could be everybody's banned from ringside and no DQ and everything. If it means that Stokely gets tossed around for 30 seconds or a minute, okay, I mean, I guess, but they're kind of fumbling with Hook here. Or Hook. Jericho versus Peter Avalon. Are you fucking serious? And Tony versus Riho. Again, are you fucking serious? Face of the Revolution ladder match, by the way, is Takeshita Ortiz, some masked guy I didn't catch the name of. I'm not knocking him. I didn't catch the name because Excalibur rattled off about 80 million words in 30 seconds. Action Andretti, Sammy, Hobbs, Eddie Kingston, and AR Fox. The winner faces Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship, either at the pay-per-view or on Dynamite. Again, Excalibur rattled off so much shit. So then Action Andretti took on Sammy with Daniel Garcia. They did flips, they did cool moves, and don't get me wrong, Action Andretti certainly has the crowd on his side. And Sammy used to have the crowd on his side. Sammy's a goddamn idiot that has landed on his head way too many goddamn times. Ty Conte has not been on television for a while. That's a bonus. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sammy maybe is out of the company within a year, because he doesn't mean anything. The crowd's like, Sammy sucks, but it's not like, oh, we want to see Sammy get beat up. They don't want to see Sammy at all. Action Andretti eventually ends up kicking Garcia away, tries to get the big win, goes up top, but then Garcia hits him because they made the referee look ineffective with a distraction spot, and GTH 1-2-3. Jericho comes down to celebrate and says, yes, come on down and celebrate January 6th at my house, even though January 6th passed away. Oh, I'm kidding. It passed a long time ago. Don't worry. We don't have to worry about that, except I'm going to occasionally bring it up because everybody should remember who Chris Irvine is. Yeah, that was Rampage. Rampage is getting harder to review. I'm debating if I'm going to continue to review Rampage much after the next month, to be honest. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.